And another replay from Sipa and Raced, Dark Elves and Tomb Kings. Now, we've cast a lot of Tomb Kings on this channel. I still generally like them. They're not super meta, but they are quite popular. I'll admit, I'm slowing down on wanting to cast them, especially with Arkhan the Black. I haven't gotten over that yet. And Raced on the Dark Elves. Also really sick of casting Dark Elves on this channel. Until at least we get a new patch and a new meta. But this was a fun build. Sisters of Slaughter are neat and fun and interesting. So I can deal with Dark Elves that are interesting. And the Tomb Kings build has a lot more horsemen than we're used to. So, okay, fine. I can cast this one. We can do it. Let's go. Arkhan the Black, Spirit Leech, and Fate of Yuna with his Staff of Nagash and his Skeleton Summon stuff. We have 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse, one of which is a Nehekara horseman, the rest are just the basic skeleton horsemen. Eyes of the Desert, Sepulchral Stalker, 3 melee Ushabti, 1 Ushabti Greatbow, it is the Chosen of the Gods, the Nehekara Warriors, King Kesh Scorpion Legion, and some other skeletons on the front line. For the Dark Elves, as we mentioned, is the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, just a Soul Stealer and a Dragon for like 2,200 gold, which is way too cheap for such a good lord with such a good spell and so much healing and yada yada. We also have 3 Cold One Knights, 3 Sisters of Slaughter, 1 Witch Elf for some rampage and that kind of thing, Bleak Swords, and Dark Riders. There are no Dark Shards, no Shades, no shooting whatsoever. This is an all melee, all day Dark Elf build. Who is messaging me? Alright. Answer the message while the front lines collided. Sisters of Slaughter, Plow and King Kesh Scorpion Legion. Those guys trying to hold up. With their 42 melee defense, they will be okay. And elsewhere, Bleak Swords will meet up with the front line. As the Chosen of the Gods massacre these Sisters of Slaughter. One of the 3 is already, like, doomed. And the Dark Elf, spooky, spooky lady lands in here. A Soul Stealer attached to these Nehekara horsemen manages to hit everything in this area, even though the circle didn't cover him, so I think the circle was just bugged. But Cold One Knights, despite the fact that the Tomb Kings brought more cavalry than we're used to, Cold One Knights should destroy them. Cold One Knights have been kind of underperforming recently, but, I mean, Skeleton Horsemen got nothing on Cold One Knights. And they will get back here. They will try and stop the Eyes of the Desert. They should get decent damage down as well. Dark Elf frontline is petering out. Those melee Ushabti plus the Nehekara Warriors are doing quite well, but the backline has been accessed, and wherever the Sisters of Slaughter are fighting is so far going pretty well. So the Dark Elves are winning this right-hand flank convincingly, but the front line's going very poorly for them. Murderous Prowess has now been popped, so for just a little bit, these Bleak Swords and Cold One Knights and crap will hold on a bit longer. There's 4 Cold One Knights, not 3, by the way. Missed that. These guys don't want to be fighting Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Warriors, though. That is definitely not worth their time. Chosen the Gods did get to safety. Looks like they're trying to stop and fire at something. The balance of power is about even. I have to feel like the Dark Elves are getting the shit kicked out of them, though. It does not look good for them overall. The army ability of the Tomb Kings summons yet another Ushabti. This one to rear charge some of those Sisters of Slaughter. Big Soul Stealer trying to heal up the Supreme Sorceress of Dark while she's getting shot and deal damage to 2 different cav units and the Sparkle Stalkers. That's a great Soul Stealer. And the Full Health Witch Elves came out of nowhere. I have no idea where they were this whole fight, but they're here now. And they rampage the Chosen of the Gods. They can stop shooting stuff. Cold Knights are routing off everywhere, though. It looks like 3 out of the 4 Cold Knights are having a bad time. And this one's down to half HP, getting poked by spears and skeletons. So it's a tough time for the Dark Elves. They're relying heavily on this healthy Sister of Slaughter and the half-health Sister of Slaughter. Plus, of course, the Dragon Lord. But yeah, their cav's about spent. It's all Witch Elves now. The Sisters of Slaughter are just elite Witch Elves, right? It's reliant on the bare naked ladies, actually. The Sorceress isn't particularly clothed either, are you? I don't know, she's on a chair. Yeah, she's not very clothed. Naked Lady Carry. Nehekara Warriors living their best life against lightly armored opponents. Their anti-infantry and high melee attack stat is going to help them out quite a lot. The summon of the Ushabti is fading away, though, and a big breath attack. Just as I said they were living their best life, you come in here and do that to them. All right, now they're having a bad fucking time. There's still a full health Skeleton Horseman. There are still a lot of Skeleton Spears. There's a decent amount of regular Ushabti around, though. Soul Stealer going to whittle those Chosen the Gods a bit more, and the Witch Elves got slapped since I last saw them. That's brutal. And that was one of the really big value pieces left for the Dark Elves. Sisters of Slaughter aren't looking so good. Yeah, Dark Elves are running out of juice. Arkhan continues to Spirit Leech the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, and her heal cap is in sight. Now, if she uses all of her Soul Stealers to the best of her ability, she will hit her healing cap, so that means she probably has 2 Soul Stealers left in this game. But if she's been using some of them for damage when she wasn't, when she herself wasn't damaged, then she only has 1 left. So 2 or 1 Soul Stealer left for her. Over here, the Tomb Kings are crumbling away rather aggressively. I believe one of those was a summon, so then that unit dissipated. But Sisters of Slaughter and the Coldland Knights plenty happy to grind against these Ushabti. Doing well there. Nice big breath attack onto a healthy Skeleton Spearman. Takes 2/3 of his HP away. The Dark Elves still showing signs of life, mostly through nice play. Coldland Knights and Dark Riders grinding against the Skeleton Horsemen who were so healthy earlier. Might be able to rout them off and then chase them, but Arkhan has to be a little bit cagey and avoid this Dark Elf Sorceress who is landing on him. Still focusing the Spirit Leeches onto her. Spares none for the Sisters of Slaughter. I actually wonder which is the best choice. I'm not saying that, like, I know what the best choice is, but I'm just being cagey. It's like, I wonder. Because you know she's going to heal, but also Supreme Sorceress sucks when she's stuck in the late game just fighting stuff all alone. So maybe you want to Spirit Leech the Sisters of Slaughter, keep as much of your chaff alive as possible, and just make her deal with it, which she hates doing. But also I get just Spirit Leeching her to death because you know she's going to hit her heal cap no matter what, so you might as well get her there. I don't know. I guess the easier way to look at it is they're both good targets. Seems fine. Sisters of Slaughter doing great against all these skeletons. With 61 melee defense, they're taking almost no damage in melee. They have no armor or whatever, but who cares? Your melee defense is high enough to stop it from ever hitting you. And Ushabti are charging in, trying to snipe out the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, who's doing the bugged-ass dragon landing. Finally, eventually lands, and a Soul Stealer is going to hit everything it wanted to. Skeleton Horse, yeah, it hit everything right here, all 4 of them. Not Arkhan, but all these units. And we're going to need those Skeleton Horsemen into Ushabti in the late game to kill the Sisters of Slaughter, because if they charge them, then their mass should do a lot of impact damage, which gets past that troublesome melee defense. Arkhan taking a bunch of damage from the Supreme Sorceress of Dark. Witch Elves try to rejoin the fight, but routed. Coldland Knights trying to rejoin the fight and get caught sleeping just a little bit. Now they turn and start to fight, but their leadership is so low, they'll probably rout any second now. Sisters of Slaughter sprint across the battlefield. The Tomb Kings are running out of infantry, but Arkhan can summon more with his Tomb Blade. If he can charge it up, but I guess Staff and Gash is for. Ushabti trying to intercept the spooky, scary Sorceress. Another Spirit Leech for her. Ushabti clear out the Coldland Knights, and now we're going to charge into Sisters of Slaughter. There's only 32 of them, but they are ready to party. If they don't rout, 0 leadership on them, but now back up to 12, and their Sorceress is coming back for them. So they're plenty happy to keep fighting for now. Witch Elves rejoining the fight. They're trying to get to Arkhan. If they could Rampage him, that would end this game. But they shatter, so no more Rampage against the Tomb Kings. It's going to finish off the Skeleton Horsemen, but there's no fresh Rampage. Ushabti trying to summon the, surround the Supreme Sorceress, trying to kill her off. If she has her last Soul Stealer available, she could tank this out, but it looks like she's maybe gonna rout. The Sisters of Slaughter are gonna be a problem though, because the Ushabti don't want to fight them in melee. They wanted to charge them, but they didn't get to charge them. Big Soul Stealer coming in for her. Can she hold on till the healing actually hits? It hits everything, even stuff that's kind of outside the circle. Big fucking damage, but the Sisters of Slaughter are starting to rout. Some of the Bleak Swords are shattering, and there comes a nice skeleton summon from Arkhan to stay in this battle. So 2 Ushabti that are going to start crumbling soon, fighting the Sisters of Slaughter. That was her last Soul Stealer. I just don't think she has any more. Even though she's almost at her heal cap, that means I think one of her Soul Stealers was suboptimal healing-wise, not damage-wise. Arkhan's going to chase off that Sister of Slaughter. Ushabtis are still trying to kill these other ones with his Skeleton Summon, but the Skeleton Summon is temporary, and the balance of power is still against the Tomb Kings. Another Spirit Leech for the Supreme Sorceress of Dark. And Ushabti are in here fighting those bare naked ladies, throwing them around. So Sorceress of Dark is stuck in melee for now. She could get back in the sky, like, rules-wise. There's no rule that's keeping her on the ground. She just is. But if she gets back in the sky, does she have any breath attacks left? No. 2 more Spirit Leeches and she's dead. 1 more and she might rout if she enters melee again. Ushabti stuck fighting these Sisters of Slaughter, not really cycle charging or anything. Skeleton Warriors only have 15 seconds left to be alive. And then the Ushabti will be all alone and they'll crumble away. Arkhan is getting chased down. He takes a big rear charge from the Dark Elf caster. He's going to start crumbling any second now. And he just can't escape from her. There's another Spirit Leech. And his Skeleton Summon fades away. The Balance Power tanks against the Tomb Kings without that Skeleton Summon. But the Ushabti managed to shatter off a Bleak Sword. Arkhan is getting away from that Supreme Sorceress of Dark. She dives on him again. Does the charge attack hit? It does, bringing him even lower. We know he doesn't have a Spirit Leech, and army losses will take him. $2,500 value for Arkhan. Chosen of the Gods and the Sparkle Stalkers did fine. Melee Ushabti did pretty darn well. Nakar Warriors did okay. The Skeleton Horseman Corps did nothing. But I guess that's fine. They're around. For erased, 4,100 on the Sorceress on her Dragon. That shit is so broken. I hate it. I hate it because it's like super cheap too. You might be like, oh, well, she can die 1v1 if she dives into Scarbrand. Yeah, okay, bro. But like, she's super cheap and a caster and a dragon and a pretty solid melee combatant. And Soul Stealer is a wild spell. So, there's my bitching. Sisters of Slaughter did alright. They killed a lot of skellies. GG. Rawr.
Subscribe, yes, yes.